Imagine waking up every morning knowing without a shadow of doubt that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to handle it. Imagine standing in the face of adversity, and instead of shrinking, you lean in, you grow, you conquer. That power, my friends, is not reserved for a lucky few. It's not about who was born with it or who had the easiest path. Mental strength is built brick by brick through habits that we choose to adopt every single day. And today, I want to talk about those habits. The ones that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, the ones that turn setbacks into opportunities and doubts into unshakable confidence. This isn't about fluff or empty motivation. This is about taking control of your mind, taking control of your life, and stepping into a version of yourself that refuses to be derailed, that refuses to settle, that refuses to quit. Because the truth is, the strength you need is already inside you. It's waiting for you to ignite it, nurture it, and unleash it through consistent, intentional habits. Taking full responsibility for your life is the cornerstone of mental strength. It begins with the understanding that no one else is in charge of your thoughts, your choices, or the outcomes you experience. Too often, people spend their energy blaming circumstances, luck, or other people for their failures or frustrations, believing that external factors are the true drivers of their lives. But the truth is, the moment you recognize that you are the captain of your own ship, a profound shift occurs. You stop giving your power away and you start reclaiming it. Responsibility is not about guilt or shame. It's about ownership and empowerment. It's the realization that your reactions to life's events define your reality far more than the events themselves. When you take ownership, you acknowledge that you may not control everything that happens to you, but you absolutely control how you respond. This mindset is what separates those who crumble under pressure from those who thrive. It allows you to move from a place of passivity to a place of active creation. It transforms frustration into problem solving, fear into courage, and setbacks into lessons. Taking full responsibility also means being brutally honest with yourself about your weaknesses and mistakes. It requires you to look in the mirror and confront the ways in which you may be holding yourself back, without excuses or rationalizations. This honesty can be uncomfortable, but discomfort is the breeding ground of growth. Every decision you make, from how you spend your time to how you treat others, is an opportunity to exercise this responsibility. It's in the small daily choices, the discipline to wake up early, the commitment to follow through on promises, the decision to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, where mental strength is forged. When you embrace responsibility, you stop waiting for permission or approval from others, and you stop relying on external circumstances to dictate your happiness or success. You become proactive rather than reactive, shaping your destiny with deliberate action. Over time, this habit creates an inner fortitude that cannot be shaken by challenges or adversity. Life may still throw obstacles in your path, but when you own your role in every situation, you no longer feel like a victim of circumstance. You gain clarity, confidence, and control. You begin to see every challenge not as a threat, but as an opportunity to demonstrate your resilience and your capacity for growth. Taking responsibility transforms uncertainty into empowerment and fear into action, giving you the foundation to build all other mental strength habits on. Embracing discomfort and challenges is a fundamental habit of mentally strong people because true growth rarely happens in the comfort zone. Life naturally gravitates toward ease and familiarity, and it's tempting to avoid situations that test our limits, but leaning into discomfort is where transformation occurs. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to expand your capabilities, to stretch the boundaries of what you thought was possible, and to discover strengths you didn't know you had. Mental toughness is built not by coasting through life, but by confronting the obstacles that make your heart race and your mind doubt. When you actively seek out challenges, you train yourself to handle uncertainty, stress, and adversity with confidence and resilience. It's in those moments of struggle that character is forged, because you learn to navigate pressure without losing control of your emotions or your focus. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean recklessness or ignoring your limits. It means intentionally stepping into situations that are difficult, that push you to grow, and that require effort beyond what feels comfortable. It's about choosing progress over ease and long-term results over short-term satisfaction. The process of facing challenges also rewires your mindset. You begin to see failure not as a permanent reflection of your worth, but as a signal that you are stretching, experimenting, and moving forward. Each obstacle becomes a lesson, each setback a stepping stone, and each moment of discomfort a training ground for resilience. Mentally strong individuals understand that life will inevitably present difficulties, and rather than shrinking away or hoping they vanish, they lean in, adapt, and overcome. This habit also cultivates patience and perseverance because challenges are rarely solved overnight. By embracing difficulty regularly, you develop the ability to stay calm under pressure, to assess situations clearly, and to take decisive action even when the outcome is uncertain. It trains your mind to resist panic, self-doubt, and the urge to quit, replacing those instincts with courage, focus, and determination. Over time, what once seemed daunting begins to feel manageable, and your confidence grows exponentially. Life's inevitable hardships no longer intimidate you. They become opportunities to prove your strength, to learn, and to elevate yourself beyond your previous limitations. By consistently welcoming challenges and discomfort into your growth journey, you create a mindset that thrives on resilience, adapts to adversity, and transforms obstacles into catalysts for personal evolution. Controlling your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful habits that mentally strong people cultivate because the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind directly shape your emotions, actions, and ultimately, your reality. Every day, your mind produces thousands of thoughts, many of which are automatic and go unchallenged. And the quality of these thoughts can either empower you or hold you back. Mentally strong individuals understand that they cannot always control what happens around them, but they can control the narrative they tell themselves about those events. Negative self-talk, doubt, and fear are like invisible chains that limit potential, while positive, constructive, and solution-focused thoughts create freedom, clarity, and momentum. This habit begins with awareness, noticing the patterns of thinking that undermine confidence or trigger anxiety. Once you become aware of these patterns, you can actively challenge and replace them with thoughts that reinforce resilience, self-belief, and focus. Controlling your inner dialogue is not about ignoring reality or pretending that problems don't exist. It's about choosing how you respond to them internally. It's about reframing challenges as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and mistakes as guidance for improvement. Mentally strong people consciously practice affirmations, visualization, and reflective thinking to strengthen this inner voice, cultivating optimism without falling into wishful thinking. This internal discipline also influences how you interact with the world. When your inner dialogue is supportive and empowering, your decisions are clearer, your communication is more confident, and your actions align with your goals. Conversely, allowing self-criticism and fear to dominate your thoughts leads to hesitation, indecision, and unnecessary stress. Over time, controlling your inner dialogue becomes second nature, enabling you to maintain composure and clarity even under pressure. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, to focus on solutions instead of problems, and to maintain emotional balance when faced with adversity. By mastering the way you speak to yourself, why also create a buffer against external negativity. Criticism, setbacks, or difficult circumstances lose their power to derail you because your internal voice guides your response, keeping you aligned with your values and objectives. This habit reinforces self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and resilience, forming a foundation upon which all other mental strength habits can thrive. The ability to consciously manage your thoughts and beliefs empowers you to break free from limiting patterns, maintain consistent focus on what truly matters, and cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence that becomes unshakable even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Cultivating consistent daily habits is a cornerstone of mental strength because it is the repeated actions, rather than occasional bursts of effort, that shape character, resilience, and long-term success. Mentally strong individuals understand that motivation is fleeting and unreliable, but discipline, the ability to follow through regardless of how you feel, creates lasting impact. Every small choice you make each day, from how you manage your time to how you respond to challenges, compounds over weeks, months, and years, building a foundation of confidence, competence, and control over your life. Consistency trains your mind to stay focused, resilient, and adaptive, even when circumstances are difficult or unpredictable. When you commit to routines and habits that align with your goals and values, you reduce the mental energy spent on decision-making, limiting chaos and indecision, and increasing clarity and effectiveness. Mentally strong people deliberately design their days to include practices that nourish their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. This might include prioritizing exercise to strengthen the body, meditation or reflection to strengthen the mind, and intentional learning to expand skills and knowledge. By embedding these practices into daily life, they create an environment where growth is inevitable and setbacks do not derail progress. Habits also serve as anchors during times of uncertainty or stress. When life becomes chaotic or overwhelming, established routines provide stability, structure, and a sense of control, helping you navigate challenges with calmness and purpose. Moreover, cultivating consistent habits requires patience and the willingness to delay gratification. Mentally strong people embrace the idea that real transformation does not happen overnight, and they commit to showing up every day, even when results are not immediate. Visible. Over time, this persistence produces compounding benefits. Mental clarity becomes sharper, emotional resilience grows stronger, and self-confidence solidifies because it is backed by tangible evidence of repeated effort and accomplishment. Daily habits also reinforce accountability, as each day becomes an opportunity to honor your commitments to yourself, strengthening integrity and self-trust. Importantly, cultivating consistent habits is not about perfection or rigid schedules. It is about progress, intentionality, and the cumulative power of small actions performed reliably. Each time you follow through on a positive habit, you are training your mind to resist distraction, overcome resistance, and align action with purpose, creating a momentum that carries you forward even when external circumstances are challenging or unpredictable. The mental toughness developed through daily consistency is not dependent on fleeting emotions, motivation, or external validation, but on a deliberate, structured approach to living that empowers you to navigate life with confidence and resilience. Focusing on what you can control is a defining habit of mentally strong individuals because it directs energy toward action and solutions rather than wasted effort on things beyond your influence. Life is filled with uncertainty, setbacks, and situations that are completely outside your control, from other people's behavior to unexpected events or global circumstances. Mentally strong people recognize that while they cannot change everything around them, they always have control over their responses, choices, and mindset. By consciously choosing where to direct attention, they conserve mental energy and avoid the frustration, stress, and helplessness that come from obsessing over factors they cannot change. This habit begins with awareness. Noticing when your thoughts drift toward worry, blame, or resentment over things outside your control, and deliberately redirecting focus toward actions you can take to improve your situation. Focusing on controllable elements fosters empowerment because it reinforces the understanding that you are not a passive victim of circumstance, but an active participant in shaping your life. It encourages problem solving and strategic thinking as you evaluate challenges through the lens of possibility rather than limitation. Mentally strong individuals also use this focus to maintain emotional balance. When you accept that certain outcomes are beyond your influence, you reduce anxiety and frustration, allowing your mind to remain clear, calm, and resilient under pressure. This habit also strengthens patience and perseverance because it shifts attention away from immediate results or uncontrollable outcomes and toward consistent, deliberate actions that contribute to long-term growth. Furthermore, concentrating on what you can control enhances self-discipline and accountability. You begin to measure progress based on your effort choices. In-D behaviors rather than external validation or fluctuating circumstances. Over time, this approach builds confidence because you see that your consistent actions yield tangible results, even in the midst of uncertainty. It also reduces the power of external negativity, criticism, setbacks, or unforeseen obstacles no longer have the ability to destabilize you because your focus remains anchored in the sphere of your own influence. By prioritizing control over your thoughts, reactions, habits, and decisions, you create a resilient mindset capable of navigating complexity, adapting to change, and turning challenges into opportunities. This habit transforms how you experience life, replacing helplessness with agency, fear with action, and chaos with clarity. It empowers you to remain grounded and purposeful, even when the world feels unpredictable, chaotic, or unfair, and it forms a mental framework that allows you to consistently operate from strength, focus, and intentionality,